Guten Tag, meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren. Es freut mich sehr, Sie hier begrüßen zu dürfen. Ich präsentiere 50 plus Döner.
Wow, messed up that first transition. Oops.
Oops.
Well, hello. Welcome to this show. I'm just warning you ahead of time. This show's gonna be nuts.
It's going to be the
Uh,
greatest show of all time. Well, actually, I can't say that because of who we're doing a profile on. But
yeah, no. I mean that you do the dirty work and content work sometimes. You gotta cover what you can't, what you don't enjoy. But it is. I have fallen upon a governmental file about this, so we will go into that. Also, Sir Pesco for the follow. We are now. I'm checking live checking. 3 followers away. Someone unfollowed us. So we're back to 3.
they saw Leipzig and Taylor Swift in the title.
No, someone saw that pop up on Twitch and they're like, "Fuck no." And you know what? I completely get it. This was a tough sell of a show. We started early. Beeflum, any intro? Because most of the show is going to be me because I did not sleep well.
Welcome to 50 Plus Donor, where we talk about literally anything German soccer, and by literally anything, I mean literally anything, as you're about to find out today.
We are never short on ideas, and I think
We are never short on ideas.
I think that is a detriment. Anyway, let us start. We're going to start with Microsoft Paint, and then we're going to go into history of Leipzig, and then the Taylor Swift conspiracy.
Okay.
Hold on, actually. I just realized I'm not going to be able to put this up. We'll read off the names and then talk about them. So first we have, and we're just putting this on here because legally we have to do it because it is a Friday game. But Wolfsburg versus Kiel. You put this on here also as a legal mandate, but how are you feeling about this one?
I did put this on there as a legal mandate for sure, but also Kiel has got some eyes emojis going towards them. They have beat Dortmund. That was their last game, I believe.
No, they lost to Hoffenheim in between that.
Oh, okay, but that is a little bit suspect because Hoffenheim is sus, but
that was post mutiny though.
That was post mutiny. So we'll say we don't know what Holstein and Kiel we're gonna get. Wolfsburg is a solid team, not a competition to sneeze at all either. But as they figured out their home form a little bit, their away form has been okay as well, to be honest. But
are they at home for that one? They are at home. That's what they have a way better away record than home, which is very weird. But
okay, yeah, they started the season without a win at home for like 9 or 10 weeks, I think. I don't remember exactly.
Also, chat, since you're already getting started, if we hit 400 followers, I will drink the rest. I would drink the other of this like fucking nefarious ass box that Beeflum was. But only then. Yeah, I mean, to add to it, dude, like, first of all, if you are a believer in patterns like we are here at 50 Plus Donor, loss, win, loss, win, loss. I mean, there's only one other logical explanation for this. Loss, win. So, who knows? But, I mean, Kiel has shown a lot. They're not getting blown out in these games like they were previously.
That's the big thing.
So, I mean, Wolfsburg very good, and I think them competing against Bayern like they did is very impressive. But I think any bottom table team at this point you cannot look over, other than maybe Hoffenheim. But there's not much more to say.
Not much more. It's got. I think the Friday game energy can carry this, as it can any game, but this specifically.
This is completely off stream, but I'm writing down our stuff right now.
Okay.
Predictions.
Prediction. Give me. You know what? I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna say 3-1 Holstein Kiel.
What?
I
3-1?
I'm gonna say 3-1.
What?
Do I believe it myself? No, but I'm gonna be bold. I'm feeling bold today.
I'm feeling like an absolute sheep because now you've convinced me. I don't think they're gonna win 3-1, but I'm gonna give a humble like 1-0.
Okay.
No, Amora is
Friday
playing very
game.
well. I'm gonna say 2-1, 50 plus donor score on. Wait, I just acted like you're crazy and then I went 1 goal less. So what am I doing? The next match we have a good one. RB Leipzig versus Bayer Leverkusen. Thoughts on this one, B1?
I would say this is my game of the week, even though Leipzig is still suspect. How I haven't seen their form as of late. What is it like?
Which one, Leipzig?
Yeah, Leipzig.
They are currently
They're
in not some good.
They're currently going through a pattern as well. I don't know. It's been the question every game this season, but it really is just what Leipzig team are you gonna get on the day?
Yeah.
And this is a home game for them. So maybe there's a little bit of hope, but also Leverkusen is just like has refound their form from last year. They have been mopping the floor with most teams they've been playing since since Boniface got injured.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
Shit
sir.
just
Yes, yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
they also let me see. What was the reverse?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The
Yes,
reverse
sir.
fixture
Yes,
was
sir.
August,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes,
it was
sir.
a 3-2 Leipzig win. So that
Yes.
is a bit interesting.
That is the last team that they lost against in the league.
Yeah.
And they just lost a game too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This could be a big
Yes,
match.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Especially since that was an away game for Leipzig. This is home for them next
Is
week.
Leipzig better? I feel like they're not. Oh no, they definitely are. No, they haven't lost a game away. Why are they so
weird.
bad? Their record's like not that awful. What the Casey Masterpiece 45 months. Jeez. And then FPLS I'm Senior. I messed that up real bad. Thank you for the follow. We're 2 away. Don't make me do more, bro. Please, bro. Please. It's an interesting thing here, right? Like you have a team that hasn't lost a league game, but they did just look vulnerable against Atletico Madrid. They were actually up a man for most of that, and they still managed to lose that. I don't see this team losing twice, but it is very interesting that Leipzig handled them so well earlier in the season. I don't know if that's going to continue. But I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet. I'm gonna do my predictions first.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a banger. I'm thinking 3-2, but I'm gonna pick Leipzig to win this one. They're gonna be motivated after our history because everyone said not to do it.
I'm gonna go Leverkusen. I'll say. Do I think Leipzig is going to score 2 goals? In the interest of time, I'll stick with my original thought. I'll say 4-2 Leverkusen. I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of goals this week.
There's good. I feel like that's. I don't want to say a guarantee because now it's not going to happen. But I feel like if you had to bet, I feel like there'd be a lot of goals in this one. Dortmund Bremen. I feel like that matchup should just give every Dortmund fans a little heebie-jeebies. What is it? Shakes? I don't know.
Yeah. The only positive for this game for Dortmund is that it's a home game. But The
Oh,
thing
one
is,
home game.
yeah, I don't know, but
Bro,
I
could
don't
you
know.
sound more dejected?
The thing is, I don't know. If you genuinely ask me when Dortmund's next win is coming, I would not know.
Well, let's look
And
at the schedule real quick.
the reason being is that they have a lot to figure out in terms of who's going to manage them. Because if you missed, if you've been living under the Bundesrock, Nuri Sahin is gone.
Why didn't we start the show off with that?
Why didn't we start the show off with that? Nuri Sahin has been fired from his post. I did not see who the interim was for Saturday. But
Yeah, wait, who was that?
I think at the end of the day, it's not even an issue of who's managing. I think they have to clean house from top to bottom.
Yeah.
The vibes are in the dumps, and you've instilled this culture of, okay, all you have to do to be successful is ensure you're in the Champions League next year. And that has, I think the attitude they had going into the Champions League final, but having that attitude was not good enough, because you were in the Champions League final and you lost it, and you're not trying to build off of, okay, let's actually go win it now, because we've shown that we can get there. It's just been a complete fall off from that, in my opinion. So I don't think it's on Kill, because the moves that he has wanted to make, at least according to the press, they've been positive moves that have been shot down by people within the team. So I feel like he needs to just find a way to get his way and like completely shut it down from top to bottom. That won't happen, at least until the end of the season. But also, you can't do that, or you can't really win with the attitude that they have right now and an interim where you have to figure out everything that you have to figure out this season. All this to say, Werder Bremen is Werder Bremen is not the team you want to be facing right now, especially since they're like directly above you in the standings by like 4 points.
I will say Bremen is also on a little bit of a slide. Especially against two not very good teams. But yeah, it's kind of like a battle of who has better vibes here, and like unfortunately Dortmund is fun fact, Dortmund is closer to Augsburg on the table points wise than they are a European qualification spot. So Emre Can, like, I don't know if anyone's been watching like the post game videos. He seems like he's gonna assassinate someone if they keep losing. So they really need to do something here. But I don't think this is the game where they're gonna get that done. My brain says I want to draw, like 0-0 draw. But since we're men of commitment, I'm gonna say 1-0 Bremen.
I will say I'll do the 50+ donor scoreline of 2-1 Bremen.
Also, have you seen some of the coaching rumors of who's gonna replace him?
Yeah, I saw Ten Hag, which I don't think is gonna happen. I saw
Hopefully.
Niko Kovac.
Yeah.
There was someone else that I literally just saw.
Urs Fischer.
That was the one.
That would be an interesting one. I'm gonna read chat real quick since we have not.
Yeah.
Following on Blue Sky Lads, first time watching. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you coming in. This is not the show to have your first episode, but Eric 7 Hag Insala. Some people just want to see the world burn.
Some people want to see the world burn.
Schalke America with Dortmund slander, but I'll let them have that. Shades of Blue, Power of the Green. Oh yeah, I forgot you're a Bremen fan. We gotta do 50+ investigates on that. How are you a Manchester City fan and a Bremen fan? Like what?
We didn't even put him through the matchmaker. That's the crazy part.
Emre Can will attempt but miss. Oh. And then BFLB's goal difference will help them. What do they have right now? A 1! Bro, I thought it was going to be like a 9. It's 1?
It's 1. Because not only are we not defending, but we're also not scoring.
Good gracious. No, man.
At least at the clip that Dortmund used to. I will say the philosophy of Borussia Dortmund has never been what I thought it should be. With the players that they continue to get.
I don't know, man.
But that's a whole another that's another tangent that we don't have time for.
No, because we basically got to jump to this next one, and then real quick do the rest of the games. But we have the hipster Classico. We have St. Pauli versus Union Berlin.
Hell yeah!
Your local man with leg tattoo is so ready for this game.
This is also big for the relegation battle.
It is. No, this is a big one, because if we go back to the table, Union Berlin's, like, better than, obviously, St. Pauli and Hoffenheim, but, like, they're in that kind of range where it could go south real quickly.
Yeah.
He's getting out the good beanie.
Good beanie.
The Marvin Gaye beanie that apparently everyone owns. This game could slap really hard.
Beard is groomed so well.
Listen, this game, I love the enthusiasm, Carbine Cat, but this game's going to be booty, bro. Union, I think they haven't scored at home yet. They've only scored 3 goals at home. So I'm already...
The entire season?
Yeah, the entire season. Right here, yeah, up here. 3 goals for the home goals the entire... And they've won 1 home match.
How do they have 3 goals at home and 11 goals away? What are they doing at home?
I don't know. I don't know.
What are the fans going to the game for?
You're better off getting those away tickets. What is Union? Oh, see, 1 win away for Union Berlin. Oh no, this is gonna be a fucking.
There is. I apologize for putting this game on. It had to go on because it was a big relegation battle, but I did not do my research into the. Maybe there won't be that many goals with that match. I may have to pull that back. This dead ass may be a 0-0.
I think we have to make 50+ donor history here. I have to say this is going to be a draw. I don't
think this is going to be a 0-0.
No, to balance it out, honestly, I'm going to say this is going to be like the best game. It's going to be like 5-4 St. Pauli. Like we're going to get blindsided.
Okay.
I don't believe that. But
for the sanity of, quite frankly, I will say 1-0 Union.
I like Bremen because Pizarro and Mertesacker. W Bundesliga knowledge for noting Mertesacker.
That's solid.
That is solid. Lots of yikes. Yeah, I mean this game could be really bad because Union is like just coming off of a losing streak. They won 1 game in their last fucking I don't know how long. And then what's St. Pauli? They've got to be the same. Yeah, very intermittent wins there. Hardly ever against a team above them. So
yeah, the thing is, I mentioned this last week, but St. Pauli plays everyone close, which is good for them. But
they do, but like they're starting to reach a point where they need to.
They need to actually win games.
They need to actually win some games, especially at home. Come on.
Yeah.
We got one of the best home atmospheres in Germany, and you can't win.
You can't score more than 3 goals to this point in the season.
Carbon Cat with a good question, though. A good point, though. This is a crab in a bucket knife fight. Because I think teams are going to start realizing we're now in the second half of the season, right? Some of these teams have had all winter to think about how they're almost down. no one wants to go to the second Bundesliga. You don't know if you're going to be back up, especially the teams in a relegation zone. I think people are going to start to be a little. I just don't know if this is the game that's going to happen.
ZD Smith saying clunker match 1 to -1 just gave me an insane sicko idea that we should, instead of having own goals count as 1 goal to the opposing team, it should count as -1 goal to your team.
How many own goals have there been? We're gonna have to do that. I'd be interested to see what that looks like. But yes, unfortunately, I know this is what everyone's been looking forward to. I put a lot of work
I
into
tried
this.
to solve as long as possible, chat.
Yeah, there goes all of our viewers right now. We appreciate your stay. But it actually did turn out to be kind of interesting. Not in that it is interesting, but like the circumstances around them operating and stuff, which I've included in here, is quite interesting, I have to say.
It's been a fun 43 months of subbing.
Yes, we appreciate your subs and your support. We understand it ends now, but all right. So who? Shocker. So they haven't always been RB Leipzig. They were SSV Markranestadt, who won the Landesliga Sachsen in 1947. The only other notable thing they did was rebrand the 6th time in a row to SSV Markranestadt. There was Sportgemeinde, there was some other stuff. And then literally they did not do... when I tell you this team was not doing shit, they were like at the 5th league in the highest. This team was just fucking doing nothing. And they were in the 5th league from 2007 and 2009 when their club license was bought by Red Bull.
Can I just say, can you go back real quick? That period from 1947 to 1990, I appreciate you not saying they once again did not do shit.
Well, they were in like the Eastern German League, but also still not doing shit. So, like, I just really need to stress before we start this, like, people are gonna be like, oh, they took a team from. This team barely qualifies as a team. Like they were like filler character, or like a throwaway anime villain. Then we have the RB Leipzig timeline. They were promoted literally the year after they bought Markranestadt's license, and they were promoted 4 times in what is that, like 8 years or something. In fact, their first. They made Champions League. That's what I want to say. Like within a few years of getting promoted to First League, which
I think it was the 2nd year they made Champions League.
Yeah, it's the 2nd year. Which I get it. That's still pretty impressive. You have to say. The way they go about doing it is not, but the in itself is impressive. So where the fuck is Leipzig? I've actually been there. I wish I had still had the photos when I went there, but it's actually a really cool city. I really want to, like, I don't want RB Leipzig to take away from Leipzig itself being a dope ass city. It's like the perfect. We'll go over it in a fun fact, but it's like 2 hours south of Berlin. Would be interested to view an ultra who abandoned them after they were bought and one that stuck with them. I will touch on that later. Not interviewing anyone, but it is the 8th largest city in Germany. Keep that in mind. That will be key later. Hometown of Johann Sebastian Bach. It is the place that you can pinpoint started the reunification of Germany because of the 1989 peaceful revolution. University of Leipzig is one of the oldest universities in Germany, and what's really cool about it is I accidentally walked into it because it just looks like it's in a shopping mall. It's known as the City of Books. The Leipzig Book Fair had been held annually since 1660. My favorite fun fact, the city's symbol is a unicorn. It has the world's largest indoor rainforest at the Leipzig Zoo. The Auerbach's Keller is the oldest, it should have been cafe in Germany. And it has more bridges than Venice. That is a very fun fact.
That is a very fun fact.
now we get to not having so much fun. Now it's time to talk about the team. I have been. I don't think you can see. When I was there, it was like summer, so no one was playing. But I went like right there, so I have seen this in person. It is inside of the ground. Like it's hard to see from here, but it's like pitted down, and I think that's
I can see the slope going down.
I think that's because it's like built inside the old stadium. We'll go over that in a second, but I thought that was kind of cool how they did that. But Yawn, listen, man, your only other option is learning about Taylor Swift being a Schalke fan, so you better wake up for a second. Max capacity of 47,800. It used to be the Zentral Stadium Leipzig, which is the entire lower part of that. And that is why 110,000 fans attended a match between East Germany and Czechoslovakia. Although we do know people were lying about numbers around then. So. Just as I said, the new stadium is built inside the bowl of the old stadium. And because of licensing things, it has to be called RB Arena in European games. Like, they can't spell it out. Or even call it Rasenball Arena. I feel a little dirty including our usual what about trophies, but they've done a lot in a short amount of time. They were the Landespokal Sachsen champs, which is for the 5th league. They're promoted 6 times. They were promoted. That's not right, actually. I need to change that. And then famously, they have their 2 DFB Pokal in a row. Don't show the picture. The photo is not in here.
Thank God.
I do not have the photo. But
I would have to find a way to ban you.
No, that. If you want to know what we're talking about, search up Kevin Campbell DFB Pokal. I cannot morally. They aren't shit, but by technicality. And here's where we go into explaining, because I do get asked this a lot, especially from new people coming into the league who heard about RB Leipzig or just know about like Red Bull teams in general, of why do people hate them so much. And I am here to explain why people hate them so much. But first, this is their history. So they actually have a pretty similar, we'll go over later, they have a similar ascension at Heidenheim, but just in a lot less time. Like, they were only in the Dritte Liga for a year. That's kind of crazy. And like, they're only in the Zweite Bundesliga for 2, and they finished top. One of them was just a throwaway year. That is nuts. But they have the money to do that. So, all right, we don't care. Why do people hate them? As I said earlier. So the takeover. You have to know about how the takeover happened. Fun fact. Red Bull was looking at buying St. Pauli. I'll let
you
that
know how
simmer.
pissed off that would make that fan base.
I will let that simmer for a little bit.
They would riot.
They would have. So the one that did end in violence was the Sachsen Leipzig, who they tried to take over, but like the fans like had violent protests, so they're like, "Fuck that." But they did try to take over St. Pauli. They had interest in Dusseldorf. I think that was the one that had the most leg, and the supporters said, "Fuck no." And then they looked into 1860 Munich, but in 1860 Munich also turned it down. So Franz Beckenbauer, in probably the biggest anime betrayal of all time, was good friends with Dietrich, I forget his last name, the owner of Red Bull. And he suggested Leipzig as a good spot for a team. They were looking at Leipzig in general, but this really pushed them to push Leipzig. So, Leipzig is a big city, obviously, 8th biggest in Germany. And the thought was that there's no other real competitive teams in Leipzig. So that means like Chemie and Lokomotiv, they're not really going to be getting their first league anytime soon. So that they're thinking of being the first league team in a big city. So, Mark Rannestadt, there's a whole other thing that we don't have time for, but essentially they only got $350,000 for getting bought. Which,
Oh.
if you think about how much money Red Bull's making now,
Oh.
RB
Yeah,
St. Pauli, I know you're being nice, but I'm going to have to ban you for that. Oh, wear a random scarf, my bad. 2. I got to keep going, right? I'll do it after. All right, so now we get to Loophole FC. Here's the big reason why people hate them is because these dudes dodge so many bullets. I don't know how they do it. So there's a rule in Germany of you cannot relicense a team that is above the 5th league. Lo and behold, Mark Reinstadt was in the 5th league, so they completely dodged all of those licensing requirements that they would have had to do with Dusseldorf 1860 at the time. I should mention that happened in 2009, just so you remember. But they dodged all of that. The famous one, DFB doesn't allow corporate names in the in names. Oh no, that makes sense. Corporate names in name. RB does not stand for legally Red Bull. Legally, it stands for Rasenball, which means lawn ball. Wow. The other loophole that I think people don't really remember or know. So you needed 4 junior teams to get off the ground and get a 5th league license. That's the NOFB, that's 5th league. RB Leipzig bought the youth departments from Sachsen Leipzig, who they said they weren't going to take over. And that's how they were able to dodge that one. Red Bull reserved the naming right to the stadium at their founding, so it cannot be sold to any other company until 2040.
Jeez.
And then to get it off the ground again, you need founding members, obviously. The 7 founding members were either a Red Bull employee or famously a player agent. Andreas Sadlo, who was the first chairman, had to resign as a player agent so that he could be chairman. He specifically resigned as a player agent because you can't be an agent, obviously, and be the executive of a team. So they had to make him resign so that he could do that. There's still a part 2. We're still on the second page of loopholes here. To be registered as a voluntary association, so to basically be a team, you need at least 7 members. So that's the 7 members we were talking about before. RB Leipzig kept 9 for 4 years after their founding, and they are all employees of Red Bull. I think even now, in terms of registered members, they technically have 21, and we'll get into that in a second. Only someone working at Red Bull gets voting rights. So even if you're a member, as we'll go into at the next point, you don't get voting rights. You have to be an executive, or the executive gives you, if they leave Red Bull, they give someone else the voting rights. But they only technically have 21 members in their, what's the word? Voting members of the club. Yeah. I think they took this down after someone on Reddit said something. But in 2020, they had tiered memberships to be in RB Leipzig. Note, you don't get voting rights. The gold membership of the club was €1,000 a year.
For what? What did you get with that?
So I think, if I remember correctly, you get obviously a card. You get a day to go to a practice. It is not worth €1,000. Yeah, I promise you. Yeah. For reference, allegedly, my membership with Köln would theoretically be €92, but you get a discount being abroad, so it's less than that. So you could buy 10 Cologne memberships and get 10 voting rights for the price of 1 membership and not get voting rights. And even now, I looked on their website, you have to email someone in order to get information about membership. It's just not on their site. Maybe we could take a detour real quick to do this. I'm just using them because it came to mind. But you know how, Köln has this nice little sheet of how much you would theoretically have to pay? Let's go to RB Leipzig. That's it. There it is. So, that is partially why other people, why they do not like them. Is there anything else on here? Oh yeah. As a compromise, because so DFL made them restructure. They're like, the board can't fucking be Red Bull employees. So what they did is the management board are all not Red Bull people, but there is a second board of Red Bull employees that are the supervisors. So why do people hate them if you haven't gotten by now? So there's no like founding story to this, right? Like Red Bull was brought to Leipzig because of the economic opportunity. Even fucking Dietmar Hopp, who everyone talks shit on, and yeah, they're Hoffenheim. But Dietmar Hopp played for the club before he bought them, right? Like he at least could say I was a boyhood fan. No one was a Merkstadt SSV fan before the buying happened. I'm sure you don't need to be explained this, but they actively circumvent 50+1 rule in a country that, I mean, the show is named after 50+1. Like, everyone loves it there. They handle Bundesliga supporter culture very un-Bundesliga. So one thing that they do, other clubs cannot reject your membership for no reason. If you apply and you pay, you basically get it unless you get a ban or something like that. RB Leipzig they could see this. If I applied to be a member, they could see this show and be like, no, you're not a member.
No. Nice try, buddy.
Bouncer at the door. Obviously, they sacrifice soul for success. And for this reason, and I also want to explain this because some people ask me this as well, all of this is the reason why you don't usually see a big Ultras presence at Leipzig. So Dortmund famously never sends their Ultras. Werder Bremen's another one. St. Pauli didn't earlier this year. But they still turned down the Super League. So if you're laughing at this and be like, ha ha ha, your team probably said yes to it. It's like the Gucci store, man. If you're looking for price tags, you're too broke. Yikes. But I mean, hey. Lifetime membership in Cologne is 1948 euros, literally 2 years. Let's crowdfund a Leipzig membership for Jake. I did think about emailing that thing, but I think we ran too short a time. Maybe that would be a reoccurring. Maybe that would be a recurring 50+ donor investigates. All right, famous people. I know it's only been 15 years, but they have had a lot of good former players. Julian Nagelsmann, obviously famously, was their manager. Ralph Hasenhüttl, who is the manager of Wolfsburg now, and then Ralph Rangnick. Maybe that's not as famous for the person, but he's like pretty famous in the Bundesliga circles. But players, I bet you didn't know Joshua Kimmich played for RB Leipzig for like a year and a half. Well, he was like a youngin. I think he was like 16 or something. Christopher Nkunku, famously. Emil Forsberg, famed father figure. Tyler Adams. Dan Upamecano. Davy Zelka. Do not do anything in the chat. Patrick Schick. Konrad Leimer. And Marcel Sabitzer. Red Bull finding my team and buying them is one of the worst things to ever happen to me. The show's right on time. Oh yeah, they did buy Armenia. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want Rocks to hate me. Current squad: Marco Rosa, who's from Leipzig. Funny enough, and then when we're talking shit, we do have to give credence to one person, and that is Yusuf Poulsen. Yusuf Poulsen has been with this team since they were in the third league. I say what you want about Leipzig. That is cool. I'm sorry. That's just cool. But not so cool people. Xavi Simons, Benjamin Sesko. If you're an Arsenal fan, you should be watching this with a lot of eyes. Benjamin Heinrichs, who is a German national team player. David Raum, who's a national team player. Willi Orban, who's a Hungarian national team player and their captain. This team has I couldn't fit everyone, obviously, but this team has a lot of national team players. So, other fun facts. We're almost at the end. Wow, wait, that went faster than I thought. Leipzig fun facts. The other team to have played in the top 5 divisions of Germany, everyone else you're thinking of had not gone that far down to reach the 5th league, but them and Heidenheim, opposites attract, have played in the top 5 leagues of Germany. The record arrival is Louis Sapenda, who I'm sure you know, 40 million. The record departure was Gvardiol for 90 million.
Yes.
I wonder who did that transfer. Yeah, he's in the chat now. In fact, 5 of their top 10 record departures were in the last 2 years. I stopped counting at they made 200 million in the last 2 years just on, and their record arrival is 40 million.
40 million.
So they're making so much fucking money and not spending it. The first Bundesliga to qualify for Europe in their debut season. I think they made Europa League in their first season. There is, in my research, there's one ultra. So there's a rule in RB Leipzig Stadium of you cannot sell any merch that is not from Red Bull. But there's one ultras group that said, fuck you. And they're the only other ultra group that's able to sell anything. It's either Red Bull stuff or this one ultra group. And they're the ones I wanted to reach out to. I actually found their contact info, so I'm going to send them an email just to get more info on that. And then the youngest player to debut in Bundesliga history, Mokoko, was still 1 year older than RB Leipzig is right now. It'll only be next year. It'll only be next year that people will be, a 16-year-old will be allowed to play in the Bundesliga. So you could be a 16-year-old and play now sooner than RB Leipzig was a club. Mokoko is at 28. Yeah, that young man has aged instantly. And then this is a funny meme, I thought. I'm done. Right? That was pretty good.
That was not a drag to go through.
Right? I need audience validation here. That was pretty good, wasn't it? I thought that was pretty informative.
That was very good.
And you call Frankfurt Bag Chaser FC? Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm gonna take a break in talking before do some do say something.
Yeah, I will bullshit a little bit while you recover and put your mind in the right place.
Not ending with okay. Fuck Red Bull, bro.
Fuck Red Bull. First and foremost.
Thank you for holding us accountable, Rocks.
I was a little bit familiar about how they came to be, so that wasn't news. But a lot of the stuff within their structure, I knew that all of their voting members were Red Bull employees, but the way they got around so many other rules within not just 50+1 but other DFL rules to actually exist is kind of sick work. And to have that all figured out and then still build a team to get up within 10 years is also insane work. So, I mean, we hate them for it, of course, but they had this down to a science, clearly.
I mean, the sporting side, and I mean strictly scouting, is obviously very good. They're able to sell all these players for a ton of money, spend nothing to get them. They're kind of like a chaotic, evil Frankfurt.
Exactly.
But the fact that they were able to come up with this nefarious-ass plan in, really, they got turned down by all those other teams, a year before they bought the Mark Rashstadt license. So they were able to figure out all this stuff in a year. That's really crazy. Yes, I forgot. I think I put this and I accidentally deleted it. Leipzig is the first team from former East Germany to be successful. So that is also another draw because East Germany is very prideful about being Eastern German. So the fact that there is a very successful team in Eastern Germany does do a lot. But they also had their first sellout, I think, 3 years after that Red Bull Arena started. So. I'm not mad at them for reading rules. I mean, that's like,
I am.
yeah, but at the end of the day, like, yeah, like it was all legal, but still, it's like you're doing that in Germany is crazy. When you already were turned down 3 times because of this, and you still went ahead and did it. So, I wonder how many fans Leipzig gained with just this. I would be very interested if someone felt like cheering for Leipzig after that.
Yeah. 2008-09 was the last season with an East German in the top division before Leipzig got up.
Yeah.
Energy Cottbus. Was it Energy Cottbus?
It was.
That's crazy.
Who are in number 1 right now. They could make it back.
The how hectic is this Leipzig, by the way? how chaotic. We mentioned this last week. If you're not tapped in with the second Bundesliga, aren't the matches being shown on ESPN bullshit again?
All right, time for a detour.
It's time for a detour.
So today I joked that there is a federally mandate on Hamburg games, right? Stick with me, because they for some reason they went really far in the future. 1 Hamburg game, 2 Hamburg game, 3 Hamburg game, 4 Hamburg game. There's 4 Hamburg games to start the fucking first half of the season. Or second half. Oh, whoops. Oh, okay. Before I go into this. Leipzig still behind Magdeburg. Magdeburg, the only East German side to win a UEFA competition. That is facts. Maybe I missed it. Why didn't DFB just kill the club for clearly circumventing? Because, like...
They technically did.
They made them restructure, and then they just did that by the book, too. That was the whole, like, reorganizing the board and stuff like that. So they tried. Not very hard, but they did try. And you just can't get around Loophole FC. RB should have stuck to every other sport because people actually appreciate them throwing money. Like hockey. They owned a German hockey league team in Munich, funny enough. But yeah. Married couple. If you don't know this, Schalke and Nuremberg probably have the closest fan relationship in Germany. So I always call this the couples therapy. And then we have Hamburg, who's playing Hertha. Hertha's like just enough in it to make it interesting for like table wise, but Hamburg was playing their. No, they didn't play that well the last game. I'm not being bitter. DFB also isn't super fond of the FIG+ rule. That is another thing. It is purely being kept alive by the clubs, not the league. The league wants that shit gone so badly. All right. It's time for the worst thing I've ever done in my life. It's time. What? Rooting for
the first formal 50+ investigates.
I'm so sorry. No, this isn't the first. This is the first of the year. We've done 50+ investigates before. Taylor Swift is a Schalke fan, and I have 10 proofs of how. I stole this from the U.S. government, not the current administration, but the U.S. government. All right, number 1. Just the pure fact she knows where the fuck Gelsenkirchen is. Do you know where Gelsenkirchen is? Like, if I gave you a map, would you be able to find it? Of course you wouldn't.
If you drop me in on GeoGuessr, I would not be able to guess it was Gelsenkirchen.
People in Germany don't even know where this is. So the fact that she had her tour hit there, eyebrows raised. She even said, those 3 Gelsenkirchen crowds were amazing and so thoughtful, ? Only a Schalke fan would say that. Only a Schalke fan. Her dad is rich enough to buy an AYSO team, so if you don't know, Taylor Swift's dad is a record executive. Oh, look! She's playing soccer, and what are the colors?
Blue and white.
Blue and white.
Blue and white.
If those 2 aren't enough, we've got more. 1989, entire color was blue. And that is the season that Schalke bounced back from. They were up and down up until 1989, where they finished 12th and then 5th, and they had not been relegated since then.
That is sick work. This is a sick parallel.
This is all in front of you. This is all factual. Taylor Swift never liked or retweeted this tweet. And yes, I did check all 10,000 likes.
There's no way you checked all 10,000 likes. When did you get time for that?
Hey, some people are efficient with their time.
When did you go back on Twitter?
I'm not revealing it. But she wore yellow and Dortmund tried to make it, but she only did that because I don't fucking know. Cruel Summer was recorded in 2019, but not released until the summer after Schalke got relegated the second time. If you notice, if you look at the evidence, June 13th is when it was released. When was Schalke relegated? May 27th. In the lyrics, it says, and it's new, the shape of your body. It's blue, blah, blah, blah. It's a cruel summer.
Nothing else is important between the blue and the cruel summer.
I'm just saying. The Schalke stuff was still up during her concert. She could have easily put a bag or a little sign or like hire someone to stand in front of it, but it is wide in the open. Anne Hathaway is doing the peace sign in front of a Schalke thing. You know,
I'm kind of surprised you didn't go and you didn't do a tangent, Anne Hathaway.
Oh, calm. W Raid. All right, baby. Hello. What an awkward moment to be. Currently, we are showing people how Taylor Swift, the world famous Taylor Swift, is a fan of Schalke, not so world famous. We'll go real fast. She knows where Gelsenkirchen is. One of her tours was in there. She had blue and white when she did play soccer, and her dad probably bought the uniforms. 1989, her red, I don't know, was the season Schalke bought back from, so obviously she was inspired to make that. She never liked or retweeted Dortmund, and Cruel Summer was released the summer after Schalke got relegated. Bad Blood came out after Schalke played Dortmund, so the album was released in October 27th. Dortmund and Schalke played September 27th, 2014.
A full month? That one's a bit of a stretch.
In fact, 1989 is just straight up a Schalke tribute album. I'm willing to put that out there. All He Had to Do Is Stay is about Adam Salzai. So, people like you always want back the love they gave away, and people like me want to believe you when you say you've changed. The more I think about it now, the less I know, and all I know is you drove us off the road. Look at those stats in his only year of Schalke. All he had to do was stay. His career never recovered from this year. I'm not looking for your approval anymore, Shades of Blue admitting that he does not like this shit. I'm out of here. Period. Keep killing it. That's the shit that a teacher says when you're not doing good in school. Out of the Woods, also on 1989, it's just her watching a Schalke game. How many Schalke fans have you heard say this during a game?
This could just be a part
and
of
then
fans.
Lastly, my strongest evidence, I think, so far.
All right.
Taylor Swift randomly wore blue to the Chiefs home opener, the start of the NFL season. Why the fuck are you wearing blue when it's Ravens and Chiefs? That is because, look downward. Look down. September 5th, 2024 was the game. What happened the day before? Schalke won a friendly. And that, Your Honor. Need I say more? Need I say more?
You know what? This just makes it easier for me to hate Taylor Swift personally, allegedly. So
Allegedly, of course.
I'll back it. You know, I'll support the agenda that Taylor Swift is a Schalke fan.
Tell me that. I'm not gonna ask you. Chat. Tell me that does not make sense. Tell me that does not make sense after everything we just talked about. Yeah, we got fully convinced. See, some people can see the light, B-Flim.
You know what? You know what? You know what?
Yeah.
Absolute cinema.
Yeah.
Cinema. The effort that went into this, the studying that went into this, I gotta support that. I gotta back that.
The math is mathing. I'm telling you. Stay woke.
We need to move on because
Why are you guys gifting subs? But I appreciate it. Most State Dazzle with the gifted subs.
Cooking with rocks and the sun. Ooh.
Oh man. I told you this was gonna be
That I think that's a message of the day.
Wikipedia said that is a not covering up the stadium signage. That's probably the biggest one, honestly, if we're being real.
Her last name starts with S and so does Schalke.
Hey. What are we gonna do for 5 minutes after that? I feel like we just need to sit in silence.
I need to process everything. I need to actually let me talk to Colin real quick because Colin came in with the rate. Thank you for the rate.
Oh yeah, that was probably the worst.
Let me tell y'all about Colin because this is one of my guys. I was just texting him earlier today. He is a variety streamer. He was just playing Marvel Rivals, of course, because everybody's on crack on that game.
A game you would never want to play with me. Anyway, go on.
But yeah, he plays Marvels. He plays a bunch of other shit. He does fighting games. He also does music. He also does short films. He's just a big creator. So everybody, if you're not following Calm already, he does a lot of shit.
Yes, drop his Twitter Twitch link in there. I have not met Calm at all, but I watch B-Fun stream, so I know of him, and he's quite a cool dude. So I hope one day we cross paths.
Yeah, and also Calm, if you ever want a Bundesliga team, you are more than welcome to come onto the show, and we will assign you with a team. I know you said you kind of wanted to get into soccer, so open invitation.
We already have one. We have one semi-satisfied customer already, so
we did kind of
fuck him.
we kind of hoed him.
We did kind of fuck him over, but neither here nor there.
If you ever want, I do bet I will get in touch with you. We will set it up.
We will set it up. All right, I think that's enough mental stimulation for one day. That was a packed show. We did how did we do all that?
We did a lot, and we moved through it. We went off on several tangents too. I'm honestly impressed with us.
I'm very impressed.
I'm impressed with you. You did a lot of the heavy lifting for the show today. So
I don't know if that's really after that last one. I don't know if that's positive, but who wins tomorrow? We already did that. But someone was late to the stream, I guess.
Someone was late.
We had. Let me pull this up real quick.
I went Kiel 3-1.
I said Kiel 2-1. 50 plus preseason draft needs to happen. I don't know what that means, but sure. We got another 3 minutes. Anyone have a topic? Oh, forgot the scarf. Oh shit, my bad.
I'm wearing both my scarves right now.
I've got
the
Pacific
same two
FC
scarves
shit everywhere, so I'm just gonna wear my Pacific FC. What's this? Inaugural scarf. Let's fucking go.
Fucking go.
And then these losers, the Chicago Fire. I don't know where I got this.
Just signed Jonathan Bamba, by the way.
Joe Bamba.
We are playing Mo Bamba in the stadium this
You
season.
guys want to play sicko mode or Joe Bomba?
Joe Bamba.
Much love for dude. We always gotta shout out our favorite Canadian. No offense, Manuel Veth. But Mike is the GOAT Canadian. Also, there's new emotes as well. I don't know if you saw that, but
we
one
forgot
of them.
to mention that at the start of the show as well.
Yeah, if you open the emotes, we have a lot more now, including the Manuel Veth MS Paint picture. Oh yeah, and 50+ demon name.
Yeah, wait, you made the MS Paint?
Do you think Manuel Veth would be happy about that, or what?
I think he'd be happy. I think he'd be honored. I think that's very. I think he should know that he's immortalized on the 50+ Donor channel now.
We should probably let him know. It's better than us surprising that we announced him with the MS Paint drawing. All right, I think that's enough time buying. Beefworm, any last thought?
Any last thought? Make sure you. I don't know where I was going with this, to be honest. I was just gonna say make sure you're not like Dortmund and something random, but I don't know. Tap into the Leipzig. It's
yeah,
hectic.
you gotta watch.
I hope that your life is not as hectic as the Leipzig Bundesliga though.
And I'm gonna say your life probably is hectic right now, but you know what? The way we're gonna make it out of this shit is with community and good vibes. So
True.
Stay tapped into all the insane shit that's happening, but also don't wear yourself out because you can't protect people if you can't have the energy to hold a shield. So, anyway, thank you for watching. We'll be